What's up, guys? So, Inkstitch is about to release a new version, 3.2, and I am currently running 3.2 Beta 3. Just downloaded it. It was updated 5 hours ago before I downloaded it. What they have here is inkstitch.org/upcoming. They have an actual list of everything that's going to be in the new version. Stuff is awesome. If you are not new to Inkstitch, you're going to love these features. If you are new to Inkstitch and you do any kind of digitizing or machine embroidery, you need to look at Inkstitch. It's free. It's a plugin for Inkscape, which is also free. We're just going to read all this in order. Fonts. These are the new fonts available. I'm not going to be able to pronounce all of these. I'll do my best. Ambigu, bar stitch bold, bar stitch cloudy, bar stitch mandala, regular textured, bluenesia 72, califragilistic, yep, it fits, cogs core, computer, decadent flower monogram, Gingo 200. I think there's something wrong there. It does not look right. Oh, yep, the preview image is not correct. So that's what the Gingo 200 looks like. On a couple of them, I'm not even going to make an attempt. Masigo, Mongolia Tamed. I like that one. That one looks great. Malika, Mimosa, both medium and large. Pixel 10. You know, if you do any kind of pixel gaming, or if you ever did any kind of pixel gaming, this is awesome. I love that. I'm old. Sunset's very cool, and Western Light. Font updates. Numerous updates to existing fonts were made, thanks to everyone involved. New extensions. Edit JSON. Very cool. Edit JSON is part of the font management and helps font authors to easily correct data in the JSON file. It is especially useful for kerning corrections as it simulates a custom text as you update the kerning. So I have the beta running. I thought I had Inkscape running, but I guess I don't. So you can go in here, hit extensions, Inkstitch, go down to font management, edit JSON. This is the font that I made. It is available on the website. As far as I know, it's still available at lowtechlinux.com. If you can't find it, let me know. I will make sure it's findable. So you can go in here. I have the font that I made loaded up. Font info. Font settings. General kerning. So you can change things here. General, you can also change the leading space, the horizontal advance, or horizontal advance X space. So that's very cool. If you're not getting the right spacing in between, you can adjust those right on the fly visually. Horizontal advance, you've got much more detailed precision options you can do here. Kerning pairs. Very cool. Fill to satin. This is one of the most amazing things. I have no idea how they figured out how to do this, but this is awesome. Never before have we been able to change a fill stitch to a satin. We had to manually convert it. Draw the line, you get it. Now you can just do a fill. I'll show you that real quick. This is just a real simple example. Let me grab that tool. I'm going to do a fill. And it's going to look something like that. Make sure it is a fill. So that's now a fill. You have to do manual placement of rungs just to let it know what you want to do with it. And then now you have to select everything, the fill and the rungs that you created. and then go into Inkstitch, Tools, Satin, fill to satin. Hit apply. Just like that, fill to satin. That's amazing. Let's do a quick preview, see how it looks. That is amazing. That blows my mind. I love that. Things just got a whole lot easier. Go ahead and remove that. So that's fill to satin. Install add-ons for Inkscape. Installs color palettes. We've had that before, but it was it used to be called install thread color palettes for Inkscape. Now it's just install add-ons. Remove duplicate points. Helps, for example, to remove bean stitches from stitch plans and turn them into simple lines. After you converted something, maybe you did a trace bitmap. Sometimes the trace bitmap will put duplicate points on top of each other. This will help get rid of that. Selection to knockdown fill. This one is awesome too. Helper method to generate a fill area underneath of all selected elements, optionally with an offset. This can be very useful when working with high pile fabric. I've got a bunch of really old videos on how to manually create a knockdown stitch. Now it comes for easy. Now there's an easy button. I don't know. I guess I'll just draw a couple of different things out here. Yeah, something like that. Let's do that. Let's change that color. It just got huge. That color, and we'll leave that one. Okay. So now I'm going to select all these. I'm going to go path and flatten. So now everything's cut out from everything else. We used to have to do this the hard way too. This is so much easier. That's actually an Inkscape. That's actually an Inkscape tool that came to Inkscape a couple of versions ago. Now they're all cut out. Now I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to go to Extensions, Inkstitch. Oh, okay, we're not there yet. Extensions, Inkstitch. Did I fill? Okay. Selection to knockdown fill. Options, keep holes, join style, offset. You can pre-select how much offset you have. And then hit apply. So there's your knockdown. So that's a nice little knock, and it is pre-programmed to make it all neat. Watch this. I'm only going to select that knockdown, but let's look at what it looks like, because this is amazing. I did not have it looking this good when I used to do it manually. Look at that. Beautiful. That is so cool. That is extremely cool. All right. This upcoming version, man, it is every bit as good or even better than the previous version was from the previous to that one. This is just absolutely amazing. Set Color Sort Index. Font Management Set Color Sort Index. A tool for font authors which sets a specific color sort index on selected elements to control element grouping when the color sorting options is enabled in the coloring tool. So what that means is the example they have here. If you're on a single needle machine and you create this color sort image to stitch, there's only 3 colors, but you're gonna have to change the colors this many times. You're gonna start off with yellow, and you're gonna change pink, purple, go back to yellow, pink, purple, go back to yellow, pink, purple. So what this color sort does, it specifically makes it to where it will stitch all of the yellow first. Then you change the color on your single needle machine once. And then it's going to do all the pinks all the way across. Change the colors one more time, and you're going to do all the purples. So on a programmable machine with our 15 needle or even our 10 needle. It's not as big a deal. You can do that. I can make it change, and it's, it's wear and tear on the machine for sure, but I've still, even though I can do it on that machine, I still always want to select one color to stitch out all those colors, all the segments of that one color at a time, because I don't want the machine doing that much work either. So very, very cool. Transform. Applies transforms to elements and rotate flip while also adapting the fill angle. So if you set your fill, and then you set a fill angle, and then you transform that, rotate it, what have you, it's going to keep the fill angle of the original in the rotation. Very cool. Extension updates. This is what I said just a second ago. Nope, I'm not ready for that yet, because I want you to, this is very cool. So in general, request permission to update old SVG files if the Inkstitch SVG version attribute is not specified in the file. That's just cleaning up leftover clutter. This prevents to falsely update copy-pasted content in a new file. Very good. Inkstitch extensions are now shown with icons and description in the extension gallery for easy access. I showed this on my other video. I'll show it again because this is really cool. In the extensions right here, gallery right here, extensions gallery. There's your Inkstitch extensions. Right here. Easy peasy. Matter of fact, right there's transform. Let's do this. Params. There's our fill. Close that out. Transform. Rotate. Close. And now the fill should have rotated along with it. Outstanding. That is very cool. Built-in rotate tool in the Inkstitch. That is very cool. No, I don't want to. Just remove that. Let's go back. But wait, there's more. Auto route satin. Add option to keep original path elements. Transfer object-based minimum jump length value if present from satins on auto-generated centerline strokes. Transfer object-based minimum jump length value if present from satins on auto-generated centerline strokes. Attach commands to selected objects. I like this one. I like this one a lot too. We had a lot of complaints that positioning command symbols is rather difficult. Yeah, I agree. If you needed to move them around, sometimes they were a pain to move around to where you needed it to be. Therefore, visual commands are now directed towards the symbol center. This means when you position the start symbol, the starting point of the element will be directly at the symbol center. Old files will automatically update. So you see how this icon right here is the center of that icon is on this piece right here. That's where it'll start instead of the little marker. Unified start and stop commands for various stitch types. Old files will automatically updated. Convert to gradient blocks. Insert color blocks into groups and skip small elements. I want to read more on this because it sounds like convert to gradient block. Okay. I think we've already had this. I'm not sure about that because we've already had this. Maybe it just got better. Insert color blocks into a group and skip small elements. Probably, okay. I get it. put them into a group, and do not create very small elements. That's the fix. Gotcha. Awesome. Good, good. Scale command symbols. Set all commands to a unique size at once. Reset previous transform. Please note that manual transforms on groups with commands may influence the actual size of the symbol. Font sampling. Add color sort option, which we already saw. Force lock stitching. Add an option to disable lock stitch insertion by distance. For example, to add lock stitches only after the last element of a glyph. Good. Very good. That'll save me, if it's what I think it is, that'll save me a lot of time. Small fonts sometimes unravel if threads are cut after embroidery. See, when I'm making small fonts, I make sure there's the tie, the cut at the beginning of the letter, and no matter what I do in that letter, I never do another cut off, another cut or tie until I'm done with that letter, especially on small stitchings. Therefore, it's important that also diacritics within a smaller distance to the font body than defined by the minimum jump stitch length. Yep. This extension helps adding forced lock stitches. One may choose to restrict the addition of lock stitches only to satin columns. This, I don't know. Is this the opposite of what I'm saying? I'm not sure. The wording on that is not registering. Lettering. Load with last selected font and remember some other settings. That's cool. That is awesome. You know, most of us use only a few different fonts. Only. And now it'll actually load with the last font that you used. That is awesome. Add support for more languages. That's good. That's always good. Lettering simulator. Show accurate start and end points. Better simulator, always better. Uniform size of info. Add color sort option for multicolor fonts. We've already crossed that one. Options for text alignment. Be there in just a moment. Oh, that is a different one. So, text alignment. Left, center, right block. Default block letter spacing. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Dude. So let's check out. I want to check this out. Look right here. Block. Right there's center. Left. Color sort, which my font doesn't color sort. Add trims. So let's check this out. Awesome. Does it change on the fly? Dude, it does. This is great. That is just, this release is insane. Okay, moving on. Lettering along path. Add an option for text position along the path. Left, center, right, stretch. Let's read more. It says it's not yet integrated because I'm assuming because it's not released yet and I'm running the beta, so it should be. Not really much to say about it, so let's just try it, shall we? Lettering. Let's do another lettering. Let's pick a different font. Something a way smaller. Go with that. Apply and quit. That ain't much smaller, is it? Let's make a gigantic circle. Yeah, something like that. Let's not fill. Let's do, let's not fill. Let's do outline. That's selected. Let's select that. Extensions, Inkstitch. Lettering along path. There it is. Text position. Let's try left. Oh, we're upside down. There's a way to fix that, and I don't remember what it is. So it does not update on the fly. Oh, there it did. Well, that's interesting. It was upside. What? Yeah, there's a way to fix it. Oh, what is it? Is it that? Yep. I genuinely don't know. I've done it a time or two when I had to, and I can't remember what it is, but it works nonetheless. All right, back to it. Multicolor satin, option to adjust underlay. This adds an option to adjust given underlays per color. Oh, per color. Oh, wow. Red work, add combine option, keep originals option. Simulator, add button to toggle crosshair. That's cool. Option to save and reload simulator speed, save and reload more simulator settings. That's cool. Status for buttons, jump, trim, color change, stop, needle penetration points, page border. Show page in simulator. Okay, that is the same simulator as Visualine and Export and Simulator. Yeah, I need to have something there to simulate, don't I? So, adapt speed to stitch count is default. Line width, needle pen. Option to change background color. That's good if you have a white thread on a white background. You can't really tell what's going on. Show page. What's show page? I don't know what show page is. Okay. Stitch plan preview, improve realistic filter. That's always a good thing. Stroke to LPE satin. Take transforms into account. Troubleshoot group pointers. Specific error warnings types can be easily toggled on and off. Add background to troubleshoot text. Some of those are hard to see. Unlink clones. Add option to group, not group, unlink symbol elements. Removed extension. Convert line to satin column. It's now stroke to satin. And that one, did that one move? Extensions, Inkstitch, satin, stroke to satin. It's under satin. I've been using the new one for a while. I can't remember if it moved or not. And okay, automatic start and endpoints. This one's awesome. Another awesome. When you have multiple things going on, it will calculate the start and end points to stop nearest the next thing, and it's going to start at the nearest point of the next thing. That is so cool. Just like it shows right here. This box is going to end at its closest point to this satin column. This satin column is going to start right there where that box ended, and it's probably going to just running stitch up and then come down, coming down, and then you stop right here. It's going to stop at satin at the closest point to that next box, and then it's going to start on the closest point to that satin on that next box. That is just so absolute cool. Automatically. That is off the hook, man. It's crazy. Okay, clips are now easy accessible in Inkstitch in all forms. They're especially useful in combination with the red work tool. Groups. Inkstitch can now also parse clips which are applied on groups. Okay, I'm going to hurry this along. Effect clips. Allow to use inverted clip. Awesome. That is cool. Clones now, so clone command attached to element and children. Contour fill, add expand option. That is good. You could do it before in using Inkscape tools. Now you can also do it using Inkstitch tools. Very good. Linear gradient fill, add randomization options to linear gradient fill. Manual stitch, add beaten stitch option to manual stitch. That is very cool. Ripple stitch. I love their little example here. Can I make that any bigger? Okay, so this is their little example. I love the way this looks. I'm not sure if one has anything to do with the other, but I love this. When it's at a distance like that, it looks almost mountainy. Very cool. Okay. Ripple stitch, manual stitch placement for ripple patterns. Add stitch grid first options, satin guided ripples. Option whether to flip each second line or of the pattern or not. Anchor line to align ripple patterns. Satin column starts and ends at the nearest points by default, just like we talked about on the other one. This satin column and this satin column, it's going to automatically end at this nearest point to the next one, and it's going to start at the nearest point on the next one. That is so cool. You can still enable start and end commands if you want to change that and move them around ever you need them. Zigzag stitch. Pole compensation can now be defined for each side. Asymmetric. Same as satin columns. That is awesome. Palettes. Update Inkstitch Madeira. I think we use Madeira. We don't use rayon. Isocord polyester added. We use Madeira poly something. I don't remember. Anyway. New export formats. If you want to know the supported formats, you can click right there. I am way zoom. Why is that? So right here, the formats that Inkstitch can write to is this right here. That's it. They are open source. They are restricted by copyrights and patents and all that other skullduggery that shouldn't be. But yeah, they are. So this is the only thing that they can save to. DST, AXP, G-Code, Jeff, PEC, PEZ, TIBF, UL1, VP3, XXX. Now, however, they can read a lot more than that. They can read all of these. It's a much bigger list. They can read all those. Okay, the new export formats, now they can also write to TBF and PLT QCC. So very good. Batch lettering. Man, it keeps getting better. Gift that never stops giving. Inkstitch can now export multiple files with different text at once. A path with a specified label within each document can be used to define text position. So you can batch file this embroidery file to have a different name on its export. It's crazy. It's off the hook. I am going to be playing around with that because I'm going to probably do a video on that. That is incredible. Inkstitch set batch lettering zip. That's crazy. Yep. I will do a video on that shortly when I can. We still at 50 hours a week at work. We're supposed to be slowing down by now, but we're not. So when I can, I'll do it when I can. Just like I do most things. Now, this is very cool for Windows users. Releases. Windows releases are now signed for free with SignPath.io certificate by SignPath Foundation. That is awesome. No more, theoretically, no more this file is not safe and Windows ain't going to let you have it or use it or click it or whatever. It should, now that it's signed, Windows should be happy with it. No more problems. That's what we're shooting. That's what we're hoping for. Windows 32-bit version has been removed. It's no longer supported. Linux releases still available 64-bit and 32-bit. I am using 64-bit on OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, which is usually an RPM distribution. I choose to install Inkstitch for Inkscape with the SH installer, script installer. It's just easier and faster. It's a lot faster. Make sure that you install Inkscape with your repositories, not Flatpak, not Snap, not AppImage, repository install. If you do that, you'll have no issue. No problems at all. Other than that, I'm not going to read the rest of this. I'll link this inkstitch.org upcoming in the description below the video. I'm not going to read all this. Where is it? Right here. Bug fixes since beta 1. And remember, I'm on beta 3. So this is the list since 1. This is the list since 3.1.0. This is basically the bug fixes since the last release. So if you want to read any of that, it's there. Read all this. We're excited. I'm excited. I know we're all excited. If you're new to Inkscape and Inkstitch, it's all free. It's free, 100% free, open source, and machine embroidery files at your fingertips for free. Don't need to pay $1,000 for that license. You don't. But other than that, and it works, and I'll be best of all, it works on all the major platforms. Windows, Mac, and Linux. All of them. And yes, I am considering those the major ones. That's it. But anyway, that's all for this video. This video was a blast. This is just unbelievable. This was fun to make. This was fun to go through. The list is so just extensive. But anyway, if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff on the YouTubes and the TikToks and whatever you might be watching it on. And other than that, I thank you so much for watching.